A wise man once said to me, that man was my father when he was stealing our PS2 at 3 AM in the morning, then jumping out of our second story window and disappearing never to be seen again. Personally, I've reflected on that encounter for many years now. Mainly the meaning, but also the idea of it. You know, being a criminal, having no responsibilities and earning quick, easy money when you need it and if you need it. However, I'm too much of what's the polite way of saying this? A quivering pussycat. That's not to say I didn't dabble in petty crime as a teen. I used to sell radiation therapy to those who need it, except I used a UV light. And once with a classmate, and this part is true, tried to mastermind selling a little bit of Zaza. That came to a quick end when the teacher intercepted our note, and then informed us he was going to drug test us in 2 days, forcing me to drink over 15 liters of water in the span of 12 hours, as well as relentlessly work out. The effects of which you can clearly still see to this day. So I'm not afraid to admit that my criminal experience is a little bit limited. But one thing I do know, and I think the majority of people do know, is you shouldn't fake an abduction over a failing grade, or to lie to your mother. A 23-year-old Pennsylvania woman allegedly faked her own abduction earlier this week in a far-fetched effort to hide the fact that she dropped out of college. Chloe Stein, 23, was arrested Tuesday evening and has been charged with 4 misdemeanors. Stein was last heard from Monday evening at 10:30 p.m. when she texted her boyfriend while driving home from work, claiming she was pulled over by a police officer. Her boyfriend tried to contact her again numerous times, but to no avail, police said. Now, not to shit in the cereal before stirring the Cocoa Pops, but my main gripe with this genius level plan is I'm not entirely sure what the payoff even would be. So if you do get abducted by a police officer, or someone posing as a police officer, how's that going to stop your family from finding out that you didn't finish college? Eventually, after 6 to 7 months, you're going to have to explain to them why your certificate hasn't come in the mail. Now, this is me personally, or what I've allegedly heard from someone who is not me, that if you set fire to a university ground during a semester, it automatically entitles everybody in that university to get a passing grade. I would never suggest criminal activity to anyone, but I would make the suggestion that if a crime was to occur, some planning would at least go into it with an end goal in mind. Delaying an inevitable question isn't exactly a finished product in my point of view. I mean, realistically, how many months can go by of you crying crocodile tears before eyebrows are raised over a lack of degree? Hey Chloe, sweetie, how are you holding up? I'm a little better, Mom. Past couple of weeks have been really hard. I know, sweetie, I know it's been difficult, but you know what would make it better? If we contacted the university and we got you a f***ing job. Jesus Christ, what the hell's that? It's just my trauma, Mom. I think it'd probably be best if I sit here for a couple more years and play Nintendo. I think what infuriates me more is like the immaturity shown. If you went back 100 years, you should have been on a 15th child by now. And speaking of children, by the time I was 23 years old, I already abandoned my first family and moved in with my second one. Show some initiative, show some hustle. Lying to your mommy when you're this old? The only time you should ever lie to your mother is if you forget her birthday or you need to steal some money. Or borrow 20k to support your first family because they're claiming child support. What is the point in having families in separate cities if they're gonna figure out your real name anyway? State police later heard from her family who said they found her vehicle abandoned. It was at that time the family made a missing person declaration and an expansive search for Stein was launched. The police officer said the department spent tens of thousands of dollars in the search, which included a flying helicopter in the area, and she would have gotten away for it if she didn't fall for the oldest trick in the book, trusting anyone. A tip came in Tuesday night that Stein was actually at home in Jeanette. When officers arrived, they found her safe inside and she was taken in for questioning, where she immediately confessed to her wrongdoing and prayed to God for forgiveness. No, of course she didn't. She lied more. She said her abductor had a firearm. She was blindfolded and taken to various locations in the area. And then he gave me ice cream and safely dropped me off at home where you guys found me. But I didn't get away unscathed. He gave me a very stern warning never to trust police. I like how she's so cheeky that when the cops show up to her door and she's clearly not missing, she still tries to lie to them. I know faking things isn't exactly her strong suit, but the best port of call or the best strategy in this situation was probably to distract them while you snuck away. No, officer, you don't understand. I was so traumatized. I simply couldn't contact you straight away. I needed time to process what happened. Before they found her, they had received a call from Penn State University officials which said Stein was currently not enrolled as a student. Apparently she had not been attending college for quite some time, almost at a point where it's over a year or maybe 2. Police said they found inconsistencies with Stein's account and evidence obtained in the investigation. When Stein was confronted about them, she admitted she fabricated all the information pertaining to the incident. Look, love, I'm gonna give you the same piece of advice my mother gave to me. Never try to exceed at anything because you will will always fail. You're a disappointment. That part doesn't apply to you, it's just the tagline she always used to add. In this life, it's good to know your strengths, and unfortunately, you've learnt that the incredibly hard and incredibly stupid way. And in all fairness, completely deserve to be caught. You didn't even give it a respectable effort. Unlike the people watching who are going to give it a respectable effort to click that subscribe button. All I have to say on the matter in closing, guys, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Is a really stupid thing to say out loud. The actual advice should be, if you're going to do a crime, plan it out meticulously over the course of many months and get it down to perfection. Because you can't do the time if the cops never even knew about the crime. Oh, and just maybe have an honest conversation with your mother about you dropping out of college. That also seems to work pretty good. Or you could get sentenced to jail over a stupid lie. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later. Bye bye.